On today's episode, we talk CJI dick riders.
We talk why everybody hates Gracie Baja.
We discuss the advantages and disadvantages of ecological jiu-jitsu training versus drilling.
Why your injuries will never heal.
We discuss the best ways on rolling with smaller partners.
And wash your damn gi, you stinky boys. Let's get smelly.
Welcome back to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Kenny. We are doing our first remote pod due to some logistical issues with old Maddie here. And
bonjour.
Yeah.
Bonjour, boys and girls.
We're making it
We're
work.
here, though.
We are
in my red room, and it's not the red room from 50 Shades of Grey. As much as I wish it would be, it's not. It's just a room with a red wall, and I haven't painted it yet since I bought it. But this seems to be a spot where I change diapers and also do podcasts. So, hello.
Let me see what we got here. So, I mean, I guess we could talk about the hot news yesterday before we dive into anything else. Fucking
headline. The jiu-jitsu headline would be, man misses shot and I win on points.
You capitalized on that meme before, I think, any meme page, period, at least from
it got pulled down.
Did it?
Yeah. I had to post it 2 times. It got pulled down. And the second run's not getting as much because it was flying. It was just, and then, you know, man, they're on me, man. They don't, it got flagged right away. And I freaking went back and I saw everybody else posting it. I'm like, well, everybody's doing it. Why am I getting flagged? I posted it again and it stayed.
Right.
But like, I think I was too early, dude. I was too early. I was like the first one out the gate and they just said.
Well, I will just say this, without diving into politics, because I don't think that's what people are here for. It was an absolute travesty. The fact that somebody had the balls to take a shot at an American president in my lifetime is insane to me. And I hope all involved, both friends, family, whatnot, of people that or the person that did die yesterday, I hope they get some sort of restitution and healing, and I hope that we can get to the bottom of what's going on with this. But that's really all I got to say about that shit. We should not be experiencing this in this country. You know what I mean? This country is supposed to be better than that. Yeah.
It was a dark day. And if I was going to say anything about it, I would say, I don't understand how that shot could have came from so close, how that there was no one eyes on that roof. And there's all these videos of people saying they saw a guy go up there and they're reporting it and they didn't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
If I was, in charge of that detail of security, I'd be firing every one of those guys and 100%. Rebuilding, because you don't know it seems like an inside job, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
Before we dive in, this is going to be mostly user questions. We had listener questions. We had a ton of listener questions sent into us, so we figured, fuck it. We don't have a ton to talk about because there hasn't been a lot in the world of jiu-jitsu happen this last week.
I do have one thing to talk about, Kenny.
I have a couple of things too, but what do you got?
Okay. It's about guys complaining about stalling in jiu-jitsu. Okay. Guys complaining about you're in side control. Don't just stall in side control and be a lazy jiu-jitsu fighter. That has pissed me off for so long. It's not, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but it's not the guy in side control's job to move.
Oh yeah, we
it
definitely
is the guy on. It's the guy on the bottom's job to get out of side control. It's the guy on the bottom's job to not allow his guard to get past. It sounds like if you complain about guys stalling inside, you got a bad guard. That shit just makes me mad.
I think anybody that disagrees with that is probably somebody that gets smashed by heavies often and hates it, but develop a better defense to side control or learn a buggy choke.
A closed guard is not going to work on heavy guys because you're locking at the toes, guys. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to defeat a guy from the bottom, a big guy, what we don't like is we don't like active guards. Your hips should not be up around our necks because you're going to get past. Mm-hmm. But if you're kicking at our knee and scissor sweeping and spider and anything like that, like, hip away, you're not a Lego piece on the bottom. some people think in jiu-jitsu, I'm just going to sit down and now this is where I'm stuck. I can't move anywhere. And then a guy passes me. Why do we do the drills where we hip escape and we back away? Keep backing away. The more when you back away, you elongate your opponent, right? And when you elongate your opponent, it's easier to arm drag, easier to pass. Don't just get stuck in one spot and let the guy pass over top of you.
I wanted to talk about, for lack of a better terms, CGI dick riders. The guys that are going hard. Like, look, I'm not a Gordon Ryan diehard fan. I'm not an ADCC diehard fan. In the beginning of this, I was definitely pushing hard for the CGI thing to take off and blow up. And I think it's got plenty of steam at this point. I think at least this year it will do really well unless they botch it production wise. But I'm starting to see Matt's initial point about, hey, ADCC 2 years ago was the tournament of tournaments, and every single person in the grappling community would fucking, punch their mom in the face for an opportunity to be involved in it. And now, because Craig Jones has so much steam behind CJI, it just seems like everybody is jumping ship and now hating on ADCC in a really kind of weird way that doesn't make sense to me. Like out of nowhere, like I get pumping one up, but you can raise the level of CJI without shitting on ADCC, and both tournaments can coexist. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to choose a side. You can just be stoked that both happening same week. It's going to be a phenomenal weekend for jiu-jitsu. We get Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday, 3 days of world-class jiu-jitsu in a row with 2 great tournaments. Like, come on, guys, give me a fucking break. But anytime we post anything that's remotely, we posted the clip about, Gordon Ryan, what he could do to basically, pull some steam back to him into ADCC. And people were losing their mind, just like making accusations about the podcast, about Matt and I being these like Gordon Ryan fanboys. And I'm like, that's not clearly you don't listen to the fucking podcast because I'm not a Gordon Ryan fanboy. Like I critique that guy more than anybody.
He's not a Gordon Ryan guy.
No,
he's not a Gordon Ryan guy. He will not be driving any Miatas anytime soon. I am a Gordon Ryan fan of his skill. I mean,
same. Yeah. I think he's got beautiful jiu-jitsu, and I think he's very technical. And he's,
he likes cars. He likes fast cars. There's a lot of things. I guess I do get along. I have in common with the guy. But yeah, I don't know. So I've kind of lost my fanboy thing. Now that I'm older than everybody that is like awesome at stuff, it's hard to be a fan. But when I was younger, I was a Michael Jordan guy.
Right.
And in WWF, I was a Bret Hart guy. And like those were my guys. And I was also a GSP guy, a little bit older than me. That was my fan coming up as in MMA. Now that I'm older, I'm not like some punk 25-year-old kid. Gordon Ryan, not even 30 yet.
Right.
I'm not a fanboy. Like, no, I'm older than you, dude. I don't know. That's just not how I'm wired.
Right.
To like people younger than me.
I don't know. Just it's a weird thing. And I just think people need to kind of take inventory of their attitudes towards just kind of anything, you know what I mean? Like if you're willing to be this gross and like such a weirdo about a jiu-jitsu competition, what are you, how are you about things in life that actually matter? Like, are you that gross and weird as well? Like,
I saw that comment and the guy is like, no, he's like, Gordon goes there and loses. Just assuming Gordon's not good at jiu-jitsu because he's not in CJI, basically.
Right.
Like he couldn't remember that video. I said, I put his million up. He's like, he would go there and then he would lose. He would lose to the winner of the CJI.
I'm like, what makes you think that? When has he lost in the last, 3 or 4 years? He hasn't lost a single fucking match. Come on, guys. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good match. Let's say hypothetically it's a Nicky Rod. Nicky Rod is definitely in the rule set definitely doesn't favor Gordon. Gordon likes the longer.
And Nicky Rod knows his game.
Right. So that could be a good match. Now, do I think definitively Nicky Rod just shits all over Gordon Ryan the way that some people are pretending? No, I don't think so at all.
Do you think he's the favorite to win, Nicky Rod?
I don't. Maybe in the eyes of the odds makers, I don't think so, because I don't think the odds makers have a. They're going off of data, not emotion. But I think in the eyes of the fans right now, I think. I don't know if Gordon's rubbed enough people the wrong way, or people are just dick riding B Team hard enough to hate Gordon and just really ride for Nicky. But I don't quite understand the fucking hatred. It just doesn't make sense to me. But we do have some. We've got some questions. We have some listener questions. But before we dive into the normal listener questions, I had somebody actually hit us up in the DMs and kind of leave like a longer form question that I kind of wanted to touch on. So it said, question for the pod, if I may. So at my old school, the morning class was like 4 dudes that were all buddies. It ran for a strict hour and done. Hardly ever rolled. Warm up, do a lesson, situational drill, and with the lesson, and then done. Also, if there was rolling, the dudes usually only rolled with themselves. So let's say they have 4 morning classes. 2 of them were no rolling. That was the norm. Anyway, one of the dudes went from purple to black since I started. Never hit the night class ever. Also dodged bigger dudes for rolling. Anyways, what do you guys think of that format? I hated it and I wanted to roll with it. I hated it and I wanted to roll. So fuck that. So he's basically saying is that there's a guy that went from purple belt to black belt, over a certain amount of years, only going to morning classes only, where they did very few actual rolls. It was just drilling, situational, drilling, situational.
It just gives me questions like, was there a professor in those classes? It sounds like it was just dudes opening up the gym with a key, open mat, and the professor wasn't teaching those classes, what it sounds like.
Right.
Because if there was a professor there and there's a legit professor there, you make your guys roll. That's how you rank them up, right?
Right.
I mean, all you can do, bro, is you just got to focus on your belt. That belt is going to be heavy as fuck. It's going to be heavy on him. Mm-hmm. Like, he's going to be like, I'm a black belt, but like, that's why he didn't want to roll with nobody ever, because he never tested it to see if it was legit. So I think that, you just got to focus on your necks and focus on your belt. I know sometimes it can be annoying, but that guy knows he's not the truth.
Right.
It's sad to say, but the more popular this sport gets, the more diluted the invincibility of a black belt becomes.
Yeah.
There's going to be more cupcake black belts out there.
I think,
and it's your job to say, am I one of those or am I not? And you have to do yourself look in the mirror, and you got to compete at black belt, try to get a W. That's the only way to know if your shit is legit. Right. To me, if you've never competed at black belt, and there's nothing wrong with not competing, that's fine. And you're just a gym black belt, you're always going to have that on your head. Like, is my shit legit?
Right.
Because you've never tested it against a person you don't know.
I think a lot of the questionable black belts are being brought into the light too with a lot of these competitions. A lot of, like, how I don't know if you've ever like looked up how the ADCC contest or tournament is structured, but it's not by belt. It's by advanced, intermediate, and beginner. So if you jump in you could be a purple belt and say I'm advanced, or you could be a blue belt and say I'm going to compete in the advanced class. They're not like checking credentials as far as like where you rank, because realistically it's not a jiu-jitsu tournament, it's a grappling tournament. So you could be a wrestler, you could be a sambo guy. You're not going to have a jiu-jitsu black. You could be a judo guy, and you can compete. So wherever you think you're going to fit, go compete there. And, that's why you've got these blue belts that are winning these advanced brackets, beating some black belts out. So, I think a lot of that's going to come to light. I think we're in an interesting and a exciting time for the sport, but we're also in kind of like a weird time for the sport, just because there is going to be kind of a change. I think especially with Gordon's health. I think he's been kind of quiet on it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last ADCC. He hasn't really competed a lot in the last 2 years. And it doesn't sound like it's getting better. And especially after his last match, there was a lot of complaints of, people were saying he was complaining about his stomach afterwards, and beforehand, pretty immediately afterwards. So I'm curious as to, what his longevity in the game is. I know he still isn't in his, technical athletic prime, but I mean, if he's got medical issues that are putting a damper on his ability to train or compete, then, this could be the end of that. And this could be the changing of the guard. So who's going to take that spot, if that happens?
Like I've said in the past, I believe we're like in 2007 when it comes to jiu-jitsu, like marketability.
Mm-hmm.
We're your early UFC days, we're the Chuck Liddell and the Tito Ortiz days, right?
Right.
I feel like that's where we are right now in the sport. 10, 15 years from now, the sport's going to be nuclear crazy. Right now, I think we're just like developing characters, developing guys. There's some cool guys we like. People are picking their guys,
Right.
and picking what they like. You've got your Pride and you've got your UFC,
Right.
and like, you know what I mean? It's this whole thing that's happening right now. I feel like we're like in this early stage, and eventually it's all going to dilute into one awesome thing. So, like I've said before, I think Gordon Ryan, I know he would hate this stereotype right now, or this what am I thinking for it? This whatever. He's Tito Ortiz. He would hate that. Who wouldn't? Tito Ortiz is cringy as shit.
Right.
But he's in 2007. Tito Ortiz was the guy, the ground and pound, the champ, you know what I mean?
Right.
That was him. He was the face of the UFC. And I feel like that's what, and he's on nobody's GOAT list.
Right. It's a good point.
And I feel like there's guys that are like 16 right now, 15 right now. And we've seen these guys in our gyms that just haven't been released to the world yet.
Dude, look at the Jet Thompson kid.
Right.
What did we see at PGF? This was a fucking 17-year-old kid wrecking accomplished black belts, not just fucking black belts, accomplished, black belts. So
right.
Where's Jet going to be in I'll say 5 years? You know what I mean? He'll be 21, 22 years old, really grown into his body. He's going to hit another growth spurt. He's going to put on probably another 20 to 30 pounds of muscle. This kid's going to be a fucking monster.
Mika Galval was like, these kids are young.
Yeah.
they're kids.
Right.
Like, just wait, dude. There's a 12-year-old out there right now who's probably the GOAT.
Right.
A 9-year-old who's probably the GOAT. And he just lives jiu-jitsu. And that is going to be, in 15, 20 years, we'll be like, oh, man, remember when we used to talk about Tito Ortiz?
Dude, I texted you on Friday night. I was at the fucking Fight to Win fight, and I'm watching this little kids match, and these kids are probably 12 years old. And I'm like, these kids are more technical than I am. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I'm like,
for sure.
I was like, I need to learn this just jiu-jitsu fucking thing, because these kids are way better than I am, like from a technical standpoint. Like,
yeah, was it a good event?
It was pretty cool. Yeah. What I liked about it, production was pretty good and whatnot. There wasn't any like wild, production mishaps or anything like that. Their scheduling was on fucking point. If they say you're going on at 6:15, you're going on at 6:15. So they give the matches 5 minutes. There's like a 2-minute break in between, 2 or 3 minutes in between each match, so they can get the new fighters out, call them out and whatnot, play their intro music. They were so on point with that. So like, let's say your match didn't go 5 minutes. Let's say it went a minute and a half. They would just have a longer interlude in between matches to make sure that the next match started right on time. So if if you weren't there to see it in person, and your grandma or grandpa or aunt or uncle at home watching on Flow, and you're like, Johnny's going on at 6:15, Johnny went on at 6:15. So if you're at the TV at that point, you know what I mean? Like there's no. So it was very good. It was a night and day.
Something you would want to do?
I think so. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun, to be honest.
I don't want to compete, but this seems fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, this is intriguing.
Right.
And what song would you come out to, Kenny? And why is it Wu-Tang?
I think Wu-Tang Protect Your Neck would be a fucking phenomenal walkout song. But I don't know. I think it would be a lot of fun to do a tournament, or not a tournament, but a competition like that, just because it is a one.
I kind of want to do one too, bro.
Yeah, I could see that. There's a lot of good.
We should be on the same card,
bro. And the Checkmat energy. There was, I'm sure you saw the group photo that got posted on the Checkmat Mirror page. Like, and that wasn't even everybody. Like, there were still some people left a little early and whatnot. So there was at least that many people, if not more. We all had tables VIP section tables right next to the mat. And dude, just anytime a Checkmat competitor went up or won or just, dude, we just went absolutely insane. My voice is still messed up from screaming so loud. But it was a blast, and just feeling the love from the different Checkmat gyms, like I can't speak for every Checkmat gym, especially in our area, but dedicated Checkmat Murrieta, Checkmat Menifee, we were there in full force, having each other's backs. And it was cool to see the different gym families intermingle. And it's like, oh, I know you from, Instagram or like, cross training and whatnot, but like wives meeting wives and things like that, from like sister gyms that aren't necessarily like the same gym kind of thing. It was neat. So
what was cool to me is we watched Hanato do his thing that he does to every person in the world. I've literally had that same role with Hanato.
So many people told me that
20 times.
They're like, this is textbook.
That is exactly what happens to me. Okay. So, all right. I've had that role many times. Okay. And the guy he fought, Eric Gieb, deserves probably the biggest shout out because this guy's lost to Hanato multiple times already.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy takes a super fight on TV,
right,
in front of everybody, pretty much knowing, because like I've said in a couple weeks ago, there is no getting lucky in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
If Hanato has fucked you up 10 times, he's probably going to fuck you up 11.
Right.
Okay. So like, and to have the stones to take that fight, knowing you're going in there fighting a guy who's beat you multiple times.
Right.
Hey man, on a pay-per-view, like that's not like a tournament. Oh, fuck, I ran into him again. Darn it.
Right.
No, this is like, hey, do you want to fight him on Flow?
Right.
Sure. Like that is black belt energy.
Yeah.
That is
sure.
black belt. That is like, it's not about wins or losses, it's about testing myself and doing it. And like that is that, because someone's got to lose.
Right.
I have fought Eric Gieb.
Okay.
In a tournament, and he beat me 0-0, ref's decision. So like, he's good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm good, but he's good. He's legit.
Right.
Clark Gracie guy, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
But shout out to him and like for just having the balls, because Hanato is if he wants that fight to win heavyweight championship, he's gonna have that fight to win heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's taking that from him.
He's in it. I've said this multiple times about Hanato, and when I said it when I was watching it in person, every single person that was there agreed with me. That is a intimidating looking man, and everybody's just like, dude, he's such a sweetheart. He's such a nice guy. I'm like, dude, he is so massive. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's weird to see human beings that big. You know what I mean? And I've been, in the military. I've lived in multiple different cities. I've met all kinds of people, man. Short, tall, fat, skinny, muscular. This guy is a fucking unit of a human being. And
if you guys want to look him up, it's Renato with an R, Hanato Andrade.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun story about him. One time we were all sitting at open mat. We're all chilling there. We just all rolled like 3 or 4 rounds. And we're sitting there like, dang. Someone's like, man, Hanato's crazy. We're like, yeah. And then some guys like said something about Hanato. And then the guy's like, man, Hanato's not here today. And then he just walks in the door. And we're like, you said his name 3 times. What the fuck? You say his name 3 times. You walk in, there he is. He's like, me, you, monster, roll. I'm like, oh, fuck. It actually grabs the big guys and this makes us feel like, it gives me that like white belt feeling like, oh, shit.
Right.
There's levels to this.
Before. You've definitely said that there's levels to it. It's just like that guy's been a black belt as long as you've been doing jiu-jitsu. It's wild.
Exactly. He's been a black belt for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Longer than I've been doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Or some shit. Yeah, crazy.
All right, we can dive into some questions. Let's see what we got here. Oh, real quick before we dive off of that, shout out to fucking Zach Medina for his fight to win on Friday night, and then going and competing in IBJJF, the Orange County Open, and taking gold there as well.
Kid doesn't need BioPro.
No.
Does not.
BioPro's made out of Zach Medina.
Yeah. Zach Medina takes a piss in a little vial, and you can fucking, there it is, dude. Yeah, he's really been motivated, huh?
Yeah. I think
it's cool to see, bro. It's cool to see a young guy like going after it. And he's kind of like,
Well, he's been adopted by these Brazilian kids that came up here to stay with Poncho and Habinho and whatnot. And he's like the fucking fourth Brazilian. You know what I mean? Like he's with them all the time. They're all blue belts, same size. They're just constantly training. Game. Yeah, multiple. Dude, Zach's got a nasty guard passing game now. I watched it a lot on Friday night. Just this kind of like he's doing what Mateus Luna does, like that fucking.
Oh yeah, long stepping.
Yeah,
switching his hips in the air.
Yep. Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, you got to be athletic for that, and Zach's definitely got it.
And Jason took gold too yesterday.
Yeah. He, I think he took bronze in his weight class and gold in the open.
Imagine being a father and son just golding together.
Right. Yeah, super rad. So shout out fucking Zach and Jason Medina. Questions here. We got some of these are good. Mama Tess, will my overextended elbow ever heal? No, it will not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Welcome
you
to
use the other arm of the husband because that one is going to be inflamed for a while. Like, I'm sorry, Mama Tess, but your most healthiest day of jiu-jitsu is the day you sign the waiver. That's just the way it goes. Like, it's never gonna be 100%. And the only way your injury will heal is if you hurt something else. You hurt something else, you will stop thinking about that elbow. So when you tweak your neck or your back or your knee,
right,
then you know what I mean? Like that elbow stops hurting, My neck hurt. I had a stiff neck for the last 3-4 weeks, and then I hurt my good knee, and now my neck's fine. This thing is bugging me now. So jiu-jitsu is about physical injuries, but mental health.
She had a second question unrelated to the first and said, why do people hate on Gracie Barra? Genuinely curious. We've talked a little bit about this before. So
Go ahead.
I've never seen a jiu-jitsu organization have as many memes about it as Gracie Barra does. I never see anybody talking shit about Checkmat, really. I never see anybody talking shit about Atos. I never see anybody talking shit about Gracie Hamata. It's always Gracie Barra. And I think it comes down to a couple of things. One, their uniform policy is insane to me. You have to buy their uniform. You have to buy their rash guards. You can't even visit there. Like, I couldn't go to a drop-in class there if I was on vacation or something like that, and that's the gym that's around. I couldn't go to a drop-in class there without, I think, either renting or buying one of their gis or rash guards, which is fucking wild to me. So it's like, it seems like a financial racket. Two, it's an attendance-based school, which Matt and I are definitely not fans of, and it seems like most people in the community aren't fans of. I think that your jiu-jitsu game should be, or your game and your promotion should be based off of your ability and your skill.
It sounds like that first question, that purple belt that made the black, might have been in an attendance-based school.
Yeah, very, very possible. Yeah. It's like, so in the military, there's a couple of things that you have the criteria you have to meet for promotions when you hit like the NCO level. So like in order to move from like a senior airman, like there's like an E3 to an E4, you have to take a test, a written test. So there's two tests. There's a test based on military history, and then there's a test based on your job, so your career field in the military. And then they add those scores up, but then they also factor in you have a time and service requirement, a time and grade requirement. You have to meet all of those. So it's not just like, hey, you've been an E3 for 3 years, we're going to bump you up to E4. It's, you've been an E3 for 3 years, you're eligible for E4, now you got to test. I'm not saying there should be tests for belts or whatnot, but I think that the rough 2 year per belt thing, that's like a time and service, time and grade. Like, you've been a blue belt for 2 years. Now we're starting to look at, is this guy ready for purple? And it's like, okay, yeah, let's see how he rolls. Now he's been there for 2 years. Now the coach is going to start eyeing him for the possibility of promotion. At 1 year, why would I even eye him? He's only a year in. He's still got a lot to learn, I'm sure. Even if he's a phenomenal athlete, sure. Maybe if you go to Worlds and you win that, there's a quicker promotion or whatever. But I'm from everything that I've ever heard and from anybody I've ever spoken to, it seems to be attendance based only for promotions. I'm sure most people that have been in blue for 2 years are close to purple belt level, but it seems like that factors less and is more of a just, did you show up enough? So
I get why Gracie, they came here and they wanted to make money.
Yeah.
When they started jiu-jitsu, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you're going to pay for this, you're going to pay for that. It was money-making machine. And now other schools have opened up. We're just more of like, hey, man, just have fun. We're here. They're more laid-back approach.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not as formal. They don't allow you to be creative. You cannot, like, there's so many cool gis and all this cool gear and merch and stuff you can buy to basically, even if you're not sponsored by said brand, you can basically be like, you know what? I like the bright colors of Hyperfly.
Right.
I like the basic, I'm a showy roll guy. I like to be freaking, pinky up when I drink out of my freaking water jug. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like, but Gracie Baja makes you wear the same stuff. And that goes for, so you cannot express yourself through your jiu-jitsu. And even if you do become an elite level, and so you cannot, it's hard for you to get sponsored by these bigger brands that want to pay you and want to give you free stuff, because you always got to wear that white gi with that red circle and white triangle on it.
Right.
So expression, that's the biggest flaw in Gracie Baja. The price is whatever it is. If the instruction is good, the price is worth it. If Hoyler Gracie was my instructor, the legit instructor, and he's paying $300 a month, I'm like, it's fucking Hoyler Gracie.
Right.
I'll pay it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not, the pricing, yes. Is it more than on average in most gyms? Yes. It's not that. It's you can't express yourself into the sport. It's like everybody's got to wear the same Nikes when we play basketball here. We're all like, no, I want to wear Jordans. No. We're all wearing LeBrons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. This is America. Show yourself. Are we covering tattoos now? You got to wear turtleneck rash guards if you have a neck tattoo? Like, what are we doing here? I just think it's done.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go, Mama Test. That's why people hate on Gracie Baja. We got Nick Pimento 95. Best pre-comp hype song and any tips on rolling with women. I'm a 1-stripe white belt and 6-foot burrito big. Pre-comp hype song. I honestly, I'm not the first time I competed, I listened to music in my headphones while I was getting dressed and kind of like warming up. I didn't really warm up. And the last few comps, I
guess it'd be your walkout song, right? We just talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There was definitely some stuff. I think if you're going to compete in like a fight to win where they have a big sound system there with subwoofers and it's like, you're not just getting yourself hyped up, but the whole crowd as well. I think you want to listen to a song that's just like, this is going to sound like good concert status. You know what I mean? Like, don't come out there to fucking, I don't know.
Iron Maiden, Jason.
It's just, I feel like there's some songs where just like you listen to it and just like from an audio quality wise, you're just like, oh, this is not good. You know, like don't come out to like the acoustic cover of like a fucking Nirvana song or something like that. Like it's not going to hit the way you want it to hit.
To me, I'm not Hawaiian. I'm not Islander at all. But I always thought it was cool, like when BJ would come out to like the Hawaiian music, and it's a kind of like their ethnicity comes out in the music.
Is it Volk that comes out to fucking Men at Work?
Right. I think it's cool when you can or like that zombie song when everybody starts.
Dude, I teared up. I teared up
when the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think that's cool. There's some walkout songs that are iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Or John Jones. The champ is here.
Yeah. It's him. Yeah, it's like, or Lil Wayne when DC comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, right now, what am I listening to? I like The Rain by DMX.
Okay.
It's a song I like a lot. I fuck with that Tribal Chief Roman Reigns entrance song on WWE. Every time, if you've noticed on my shit, every time I hit a certain milestone on my followers, I always play with that Roman Reigns song.
Okay.
That thing, because that would probably, if I was ever to walk out, I'd probably come out to that. I don't know why. I just kind of think it's funny, and it's just,
Didn't you say
I don't
he's
know.
a
It's like,
jiu-jitsu guy?
huh?
Didn't you say Roman Reigns was a jiu-jitsu guy?
No, he actually was a football guy, but there's a couple. Karrion Kross
Okay,
is the jiu-jitsu guy in WWE. There's a couple in there that train. I want to get him on the podcast. I think he would do it because he likes a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool to have him on here and talk about like how he trains on his off days. He teaches class. I think he's a brown belt now, so it'd be cool.
Those wrestlers, their schedules are so fucked, man. They're just on the road nonstop. You almost have to like.
It couldn't be an hour. It would probably be like, hey, bro, could we get you like for like 15?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With him, I feel like as far as training's concerned, you almost like hope that there's another wrestler that does jujitsu and you guys can get some rolls in, like mid travels and stuff like that.
Right.
Kind of like the way that Zoltan does. You know what I mean? Like,
and they got the ring, so they know they set it up. They probably just go out there and just roll.
Right.
Before the shows,
Oh, and then he said tips for rolling with women. I get this a lot. I'm a 6 foot. I wouldn't say burrito big, but I'm not a small guy. 215 on a good day, 220 sometimes. I think that you can maintain a certain amount of pressure without bearing it into somebody, and so I tend to what I call pull my weight. So like I might be chest to chest and side control, but I'm not like digging into them. In fact, I'm kind of just like almost hovering and just touching so that they're still pinned, but they're not. I'm not suffocating somebody that weighs 100 pounds less than me. I think it's just that, you know what I mean? Let them work a little bit. You know what I mean? They're gonna try their flexibility and their fast movements because they're just a smaller, more compact person. So, take it for what it is and focus on your technique at that point because you don't have to really worry about using any real strength. So it's just like, let me make sure that I'm technically proficient in everything that I'm doing.
I would say don't win, but you got to make them work. But like, it's like you're rolling with a kid.
Yeah.
That's how you got to treat it. Kinda, maybe a little more, but kind of like you're rolling with a child. Some girls are going to bring that shit, but still, you just got to like, we can't use our weight. It's a good time to learn your technique. It's a good time to play from bottom if you play top a lot, and be mindful of your hands. No one in jiu-jitsu thinks sexual when you're rolling, especially with a girl. No one's thinking that. If you're thinking that, bro, you should be, dude, you're in jiu-jitsu for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Just be mindful with your hands. Like they're not going to care, but just don't put them there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Why your hands should not be on their chest at any point. You should be on their hips trying to open the guard, right? Why are we resting? Our head down. Your head should never be on someone's chest. Posture up, pass the guard, get in the side control. You should never be going the north-south. No north-south attacks on the females.
What's the position where a lot of people finish the Kimura where they're on their side and you're kind of north-south, but you're pinching with your knees? What are they?
That's a north-south Kimura. Yeah. Hit the Kimura from north-south, pinch the knees on the head and fucking rip the arm over. Yeah, don't do that. We're not doing that on girls.
Yeah.
Okay? There's some moves. You don't have to do that. Don't let her triangle you all the time.
Right.
Come on.
I wonder if I can play this. Hold on. I'm going to try this real fast. There was an audio clip that got posted in the Discord server last night from somebody who joined. I'm going to see if this plays. Let me know.
Mike Tyson was his name.
Yes. Let me know if you can hear this.
Guys, I know this voice message is very random, but please take this advice deep to your heart. If you do grappling like myself, learn how to fucking wash your ass and balls correctly. I don't wanna get triangle choked by you and smell your dirty penis. Because that triangle choke I was in today was so motherfucking tight. Even a Volkanovski in his prime could not escape this choke. But because of that dirty smell, I managed to escape in the last fucking seconds. I literally had no oxygen in my brain. I was about to die, bro. But I managed to escape. Please learn how to fucking wash it. Because next time, if somebody does this to me, I swear to God, I escape his choke and then ground and pound him.
Seriously, I don't know. People need to wash their geese better. Some people have some sour geese, man, and that's I don't get it. Like your geese only got so much shelf life on it. Period.
Right.
I've had geese like, I wash it, smells great. Yeah, but look, as soon as you just move a little bit in it, it smells again. Like geese probably only got like 60 rolls in it, and then you got to freaking think about like,
right.
I just threw away 5 geese 2 weeks ago. Like I was like, these ones are done. I'm not even going to put these in the academy for people for loners. Like, these things are busted.
I wash my geese separate from all my other clothes. I have a sanitize cycle in my washing machine, and I throw like a scoop of fucking OxyClean in there with them, and then I hang dry them.
R.I.P. Billy Mays.
Is he gone?
I think he died. Yeah. You know who else died today? Your boy, Richard Simmons.
I thought he died yesterday. You know who else died? The brunette chick from 90210.
Which one? Brenda?
I think so. Shannon Doherty.
Brenda. We lost Brenda?
Yeah.
Oh, how?
I didn't look that up. She gone though. She was like 52 or 53.
Dang.
Guys, here's why your hormones suck. If you're listening to this, then chances are you may be one of countless guys who are struggling to see the results they want in the gym, in the mirror, or even in the bedroom. Most guys are focused on testosterone. However, that's only 50% of the answer. Without adequate growth hormone and its end result, growth factors, you can't optimally absorb the testosterone you have, no matter if it's synthetic or natural. That's where BioPro Plus comes in. BioPro Plus fills in what you're missing out on to help maximize your performance in the gym and even how you look in the mirror without any needles, side effects, or doctor visits, all at a fraction of the cost of synthetic treatments. Over the last few years, BioPro Plus has been taking the medical community by storm as a faster, easier to use, and 100% safe alternative to prescription HGH and peptide treatments. It's become an underground favorite for professional and combat sports athletes and has been featured in Men's Journal, Muscle and Fitness, and even venture capitalist magazines. Simply put, BioPro Plus is getting real guys, real results, really fast. Check them out and enjoy your new look on life. Oh.
Alf Campus. Alfredo. Shout out, homie. Yo, roll nonstop or take rest rounds. Which one isn't gay? Feels gay to turn down the smoke.
I roll, but I also take restaurants, and I don't feel gay at all.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I roll. I'll take a restaurant, but if somebody calls me out while I was planning on taking a restaurant, I won't ever turn it down. If somebody says, "Hey, you want to go?" I might not be asking for a roll every single round. So if I'm gonna rest, I'll try to sit out. But as soon as somebody asks if I want to go, like I'll go. You know, I won't say no if you ask me.
As a big, you can't turn down rounds because no one wants to roll with us anyways, right?
You got to get what you can.
No one wants to choose us. Everybody's like, we're the biggest guy in the room, but everybody's invisible. Like, oh, hey. And you're like, lifting and you're standing there. Like, no one picked me. Like, you got to find your rounds as a big because no one's going to pick you. So if someone asks you to roll, you better fucking say yes. And then as you get higher belts, it's like frowned upon to ask people to roll if the belt's higher than you, which I don't believe unless you're a black belt. Then you probably should not ask black belts to roll. You can ask me to roll. I don't care. Because like I said, I have been turned down so many times throughout my jiu-jitsu life that like I just say yes to everybody. If I'm too like, bro, I need a blow, next one, I got you. But like, I'm all cool with it. But I know some black belts that don't like to be asked to roll by lower belts. They found it's like frowned upon, and which I don't believe in. But yeah, I don't turn down rounds. We're there to roll. We're on jiu-jitsu to roll. Like,
yeah, there's sometimes where I'll walk out to the mat and I'll just kind of like stand there like in the center. Clearly I'm looking for someone to roll with, and I just kind of look around the room and I start seeing people pairing up and whatnot. I'm like,
if no one picks, so here's
on the wall, guys.
If no one picks you and you're standing in the middle, you're the smoke no one likes to roll with in class, and you should be proud of yourself.
Or I smell.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now you got OxyClean. It's a good thing. You know, like if you're not getting chosen and coach is like, somebody roll with Kenny.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, so-and-so, you go with Matt, and you see them go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, motherfucker. Yes, it is. Yep. It's going to be a fucking problem.
BJJ Barbie asks, wash the belts? Really? Can't we just spray them down? I don't wash my belt.
I don't.
You know who jiu-jitsu or judo Jedi?
Mm-hmm.
He hit me up and he goes, he was talking about the belt or the washing the belt thing. He's like, it's so gross. You wash your gi. Why wouldn't you wash your belt? And I'm like, I'm not really sweating on my belt.
Hey, Mario, that's probably why you're still a brown belt, my man. You fucking keep washing that talent off. No, I'm just joking. No, but like, no,
we've mentioned before, you just get a new belt.
I'll just get a new belt. And people, so people have this thing like, a professor put this tape on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to, and his tape fell off. Oh no, can I put more tape on it? You 100% can put more tape on your belt. You can 100% restripe your belts to the current stripes that you're at. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, fingertip is
You could literally, if you wanted to, wash your belt every day. You could wash it every day, take the tape off, wash it, and then retape it to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with doing that. So, there's nothing wrong with washing your belt. But I'm old school, and I was told not to wash your belt, and I don't wash my belts. I have a bunch of stinky ass belts all the way through up, and I'm on my second black belt now that I've had, that I have just like bought a new one because of that one was kind of rough. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I don't do it. It's for skill level.
Bryce side _ BJJ, your thoughts on the new thing of ecological training versus drillers make killers? I think someone brought this up a few months ago.
We talked about this a few months ago, but we got new followers, so let's go at it. I think that look at there. He's probably saying like, oh, people just spar every time. You get better by sparring, or you get better by drilling. I think drilling is very effective for your bad side. Everybody has a good side and a bad side. You're always going to do stuff on your good side. You're always going to pass to your good side. You're always going to do the move on the good arm that you're good at with. You never do it on the bad arm, right? So I feel like drilling really can help you get better on the deficiencies you have on your bad side. Other than that, I believe in situational sparring. Situational sparring is a combo of drilling before drilling in class. Then you drill from that said position. If you just did half guard sweeps in class, then we'll start for half guard, 4 guys down, 3 guys on the wall type deal. And you work your half guard. And before sparring, situational sparring is what I think is the best way to develop your game, because it forces you to be in spots in a live situation that you might not be, especially as a heavyweight. If I don't want to be on guard in a class, I won't be on guard. I have that, unless there's some world-class little wrestler that can take me down, I have the ability to say, I'm not going to be in guard today because I'm bigger than you.
You know how we've talked about where you set little goals for yourself before class. So it's like, today I want to hit 3 arm bars. So you know that essentially you're just going for arm bars. That's just another form of situational sparring. You're basically taking the rest of your game away to focus on only hitting these arm bars so that you can complete your objective for the day. So it's just you're putting yourself in a situational position, but the other person has full reign to do whatever they want. It's just like, are you going to be able to accomplish your game?
100%. Yeah, for sure.
So I think the ecological approach is a neat idea. I would have to train that way in order to determine whether I think it's effective for my game in jiu-jitsu or not.
There's still a place where a professor shows you how to do a move.
Right. I think there's a lot to be said about this too. Like Mikey Musumeci, he says he drills like 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? So like there's
no one technically better on the planet than him.
Right. So I think that there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. And I think different people learn different ways, and different people absorb information different ways. So maybe ecological works for some people better than others. And maybe traditional or situational stuff works better for some people than others.
People who just spar every day, you're going to get good, but you're just going to get good on those guys you're sparring. You're not, and they're probably doing the same attacks, and you're doing the same attacks, right. And your game just evolves to good at one style. Drilling was going to help you maybe find something else like, wow, I've never even tried X before. I kind of like it. How are you going to unlock new branches on your tree if you've never attempted them in a drill?
Right. Yeah, there's definitely little things where, I'll be live rolling with somebody and I'll catch myself in like a single X, just by chance, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit. And then I'll try something like that I vaguely remember from when we learned X in a class, and it'll work kinda, and then now that's a question I can ask Professor after that roll. It's like, hey, I just tried this right now and it seemed like it was going to work, but I know I'm doing something wrong. Can you help me with this? And now that's where I'm starting to add on to my game.
I find myself getting into positions of that I always get into, mm-hmm. and a way to finish that I always finish. And then I tell myself, I go, self, don't finish this way. Find a new way. And I try something new because I can't just keep eating the same box of cereal every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I gotta find something new.
Right.
But that's kind of stuff you have to do when you're to a higher level. When you get to a higher level, you got to kind of be like, I'm not just going to keep doing the same freaking Merc every freaking time. You know what I mean? Like I gotta find a different angle. I got to keep myself sharp. Now, if that's making yourself go hunt arm bars and all of a sudden now you're vulnerable and you get your shit passed because you're doing something else, well, then now you have to work on something you weren't going to do today. You have to work on getting out of side control, don't you? Right. Or you have to worry about, now this guy's got my back. Sometimes I'll roll the guy and I'll just drop straight down onto my all fours, mm-hmm. and I'll let them just jump on my back.
Go turtle.
And I'm like, okay, now I got to get out of here. So,
yeah, I think it depends on who I'm rolling with. I do stuff like that with some people, or it's just like if I know that I normally am when I'm rolling with somebody, I know I typically do pretty well with them. I'm like, let me focus on just doing this right now, or
it's as a lower belt, it can be really fucking disheartening to do that to another guy who's lower belt. Just a heads up, Kenny.
Oh, sorry,
just a heads up. You're like, oh, take my back. Like I'm
not doing that.
Like, hey, fuck you, man. You only been doing it 6 months more than me, piece of shit. Now as me as like a black belt, and I do that to like a white belt or a blue belt, they're like, okay,
yeah,
like I get why he's doing it. It's not such a slap in the face. But if you're like someone's equal and you're just like, go ahead, start in side control. Like, hey, fuck you, dude. I'm going to fucking punch you in the face. I ain't starting in side control. I'm too proud for that shit. You better fight me hard. I'd be pissed. I'm like, you better fucking fight me.
We got a guy in our gym, Cody. He got his blue belt the same day as me. And his guard is just fucking unpassable, it feels like. And everybody in the gym struggles with passing this guy's guard. Even if I'm able to pass it and get side, I'm not there long enough to even get the points before he's recovered half. Like he's just so good at it. And he's like my hardest puzzle at blue belt to try to figure out on how to pass the guard. He's just so good at it. So I like those roles.
Flexible.
He's very flexible, but he's also, his frame is he's like stocky. So he's muscular, but and he's not short, I wouldn't say, but he's just like, if you looked at him, you wouldn't think this guy's legs are as flexible as they are. He can do the Jet Thompson thing where he can get, like, he's laying on his back, he can get his knees to like touch the mat. Like he can pommel his legs in like fucking arms, man. It's wild.
Are you passing to the left or to the right?
Left.
Pass to the right.
I'll try.
Everybody's good. Everybody's good at defending the left.
Yeah.
Everybody's good because everybody passes to the left.
Yeah.
So you can turn a purple belt into a blue belt by just going to the side and not used to defending as much.
The only time I go right is if I'm doing like maybe like Toriando or something like that, But if I'm knee slicing, it's almost always to the left.
Or if he puts his legs all the way to the back and it's gi, mm-hmm. and his knees are touching, we swim under and we grab under his pants.
So okay, I'll try to get like double unders on him sometimes, but like sometimes when we disconnect, he'll like, the egg beater drill, the warm up. he'll do that with his legs so that you can't grab him. And I'm like, and I'm not trying to get kicked in the face either. So I'm just like, fuck, man.
This is okay. So this is what you're going to do. We're going to put one leg under. We're going to bait the triangle by going one in, one out. And we're going to put this ear right on his mushroom.
Okay.
And then we're going to swim underneath and we're going to get double unders and we're going to grab under his pants.
Like the actual
basically trying to pull his pants down. Like he'll moon him. His crack's going to come out.
Okay.
And we're down low and we're going to pull him up onto our legs. And then we're going to force a back roll. And then we're going to get top turtle. And we're going to bury him down from that way.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. It's coming, Cody.
I'll try that.
Be
tomorrow.
ready.
Well, I will try that before this episode comes out.
You ain't doing that shit. If he listens to this, he's like, yeah, get your hand out of my ass. Like, no. Let this happen.
just go with it. What else we got here? How to tell your professor you want to go to another gym. We get this question a lot, actually.
A lot, dude.
Yeah.
Professor's running a business, guys. This is America.
Yeah.
The professor's running a business. His job to keep you. If he can't, and if you are running a school and students are wanting to leave, they're allowed to leave.
Right.
I am loyal. I believe in loyalty. When you find the right school, I would do anything, and I'm to my guy. But that's a two-way street. My professor has made a good gym culture. He's made it great. He's made it, you know what I mean? Like he's made me want to stay. So if you want to leave, you just leave. The professor's got to know, like, some students are going to come, some students are going to leave. People leave all the time. People come back. People leave for certain reasons. People want to go train with their friends other places.
Right.
This is the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You be going to Starbucks your whole life, and next thing you know, there's a Dutch Bros in town, and no one's going to Starbucks anymore.
Yeah, Dutch Bros.
But I'll be at Starbucks because the lines are smaller. Soy lattes. So don't be that. Don't be afraid to tell him. Like you're like he's probably gonna go, oh, what's happening? What's wrong? Like he's gonna ask why. But I mean, if you've never, it's not as bad as breaking up with your girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just do it in person or do it in text. Like, hey, just let you know, this is going to be my last month, blah, blah. Just text them. Whatever, man. It's a business.
I think that's it, brother.
You know what I'm thinking, bro?
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the fucking bushes. Guys, follow us on all platforms. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on BJJ Balance Discord, BJJ Balance YouTube, like I said. Follow me at OsNationBJJ on Instagram. Follow Kenny at Freak Party BJJ on Instagram. TikTok's coming soon. We're on location today from my house and Kenny's. We're trying to work out a schedule where we can podcast together again. I think we can pull that off this week. But it's good that we can still do this regardless. That's pretty much all I got. I'll aim for the bushes, guys, and we'll see you next time. Os.